Hi there, food friends. Welcome to Cavalcade of Food. I'm Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Ralph behind the camera, and what are we making today?
Well, we are making a cake.
Sure looks like it.
Yes, we are going to make a little orange blossom cake today. So, it's got all kinds of stuff in it. You can't have an orange blossom cake without oranges.
Is that cheddar cheese?
No, that's actually orange zest. See, here's the orange I used. It's the outside.
Yes.
And that is got where you've got a lot of orange flavor.
The orange oils and...
Exactly, very intense. And so when you do that, you can use, I use this little grater here, or they do make zesters. And basically you just want to get that outside. You don't want the white part, that's the pith. And that's kind of bitter. You just want that orange part on the outside.
The skin, the outer skin that stays orange. Okay.
Exactly, that's what you want. So what I've done is I've got the zest there of one orange.
Smells good when you do that.
Yeah, it has, it's a very concentrated orange flavor. Then what I'm going to do is we're going to juice these oranges. So when you're using the zest, of course it makes sense then to get the zest off first and then slice the orange in half. It's much easier to juice oranges or lemons or limes when they are at room temperature.
Oh.
So a lot of people keep their fruit in the fridge, of course, to keep it fresh longer, and that's fine. But what you want to do is take it out a couple hours in advance of using it and let it warm up.
And that makes it easier to juice, but does it also have anything to do with bringing out more of the flavor? Or?
Well, it might. I don't know about that, but you definitely get more juice out of it. I've even seen people put it like in the microwave. So
we're going to use basically the juice of two oranges.
Two oranges.
Said. And did you say how much zest you'll need?
Well, I'm using the zest of one orange here. So.
And is that going in the cake itself, or the frosting, or?
It's going in the cake.
Wow.
And I'm not these are navel oranges, so there's no seeds. So I'm even going to put the pulp in there. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to use that up. What I have here is I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour.
I see that in the big red bowl. I see some sugar.
There's 2 cups of sugar.
I see some...
Those are chopped walnuts. That's about 1.25 cups of chopped walnuts.
And I see a couple of eggs.
And a couple of eggs. So, here's what we're going to do first. Okay, I think I've got my oranges all ready to go. So, that gave us about... let's call it 3/4 cup of orange juice. I got a cup of raisins here. These are white raisins. I'm going to actually put them in there.
You mean like golden raisins?
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to let them put them in there. You could even heat this up. I want those raisins to kind of hydrate a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, get our oranges out of the way. So, we've got our 2 cups of flour. We're going to put 2 cups.
To which you add 2 cups of sugar.
And I'm going to take baking soda, okay? This is going to be our leavener. And we're going to do 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And then cinnamon is great with orange.
Oh.
So we're going to put 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon in here too. Not a lot, just enough to give it a little, something.
Cinnamon sometimes helps bring out flavors, or it's not like you're really tasting the cinnamon as much as it is enhancing.
But cinnamon's great with blueberries and orange.
Yeah, so I've seen you do this enough to know that this is where you mix your dries, right? Blend them or whatever.
Right, we're going to put all the dry ingredients, and I'm actually going to use my little hand mixer here. Got one of my little old Westinghouse hand mixer.
I don't think I've ever seen you use the mixer on the dry ingredients.
Well, I could just stir it with the spoon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 eggs. You with me? And we're going to put our 2 eggs in there. Okay? And I'm just going to, this is going to be kind of a coarse, it's not going to be like real battery yet.
Yeah, just sort of a coarse blend.
Exactly. So I'm getting the eggs and those dry ingredients kind of put together. Because once I'm done here, we'll come back and I'll fold in our orange zest, our walnuts, and our juice with raisins. Okay, so I'm just gonna
finish that up and then we'll come back. All right.
So it just kind of looked like cornmeal here.
And what's it called? We're making
an orange blossom cake.
Orange blossom cake and Cavalcade of food.
So Ralph, this is what we get: flour, sugar, baking soda, cinnamon, and 2 eggs.
All right.
Okay, you can see it's still
kind of dry almost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to add our other ingredients. So let's start with our
cheddar cheese,
orange zest.
Yes. Just,
okay.
You can tell it's. I mean, if you were able to smell, you could smell how great this orange zest smells.
Our chopped walnuts.
Smell our video.
Then I've got a 1/2 cup of oil here. Okay. And then this is our orange juice that we squeezed and our raisins.
Yeah, and did you warm that up like you said?
Yeah, you know what? I put it in the microwave.
Just to make sure that those flavors get in there?
Yeah, and I wanted the, I let the raisins soak for about, a good 10 minutes. Now I'm just going to, I'm just folding this together.
I think that's one thing I don't like about raisins in cookies and stuff is when they're hard, and this makes sure that they're not going to be hard because you kind of rehydrated them.
Mm-hmm. So
that looks good enough to eat right there.
Now here's our batter, but we want to make sure that we get it all kind of mixed in.
Too bad you can't eat raw eggs. I'd be right in there trying that.
Now, what I've
just
got
ignores me.
Yeah.
No, so is it a greased pan?
Greased, yeah, 9 by 13. Okay, and in we go.
Why that looks so good to me? It just looks like a big oatmeal cookie batter.
Maybe that's why you like it.
Yeah, I love oatmeal cookies.
All right, so let's kind of spread the batter evenly here in our. So the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. And before we take the cake out, we will prepare a topping for it, which is not really so much a frosting, but kind of a glaze that we're going to make from orange marmalade and crushed pineapple.
Oh, good, because I was going to say I found some tropical music for our background today. And that seems appropriate now that there's pineapple involved.
So we just put it in a 350 degree oven. Yeah, let's give it about 40 minutes and see where that takes us. So we're making an orange blossom cake. We'll be right back. Okay, Ralph, the cake's got about another 10 minutes. What I've done is I've put about a cup of just orange marmalade in here, okay? I've got it kind of on a medium heat, and this is going to happen is this is going to melt. You can kind of start to see it already.
Just the marmalade on its own?
Yeah, it will melt as it gets warm. You know, the jellied part of the marmalade.
Right, it softens up and gets a little more pliable. So this is just from like a jar of...
Just a jar, regular.
Like you'd put on toast. Okay?
Yes, exactly. Orange marmalade. Okay. So to that, I'm going to add, probably about a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Okay.
Okay.
So what we've got here is an 8-ounce can of crushed pineapple and juice. That's what we want right there. I'm going to put the whole thing in there, juice and all. Okay.
And it's appropriate because Hawaiian Sunset's playing in the background.
Well, there you go. And orange and pineapple are a great combination.
So it's just the brown sugar, the marmalade, and the crushed pineapple.
And I'm going to put just a little...
sprinkle of cinnamon?
Yeah. Just a little touch, okay?
Folks, you can tell he's a serious cinnamon lover with that big old...
We get the economy size.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this kind of simmer for a few minutes. Needless to say, this is going to be sweet because, well, the marmalade's sweet. We put in brown sugar. The pineapple is sweet. But what we're going to do is we're going to pour this over the cake when it comes out of the oven, warm.
Is it going to seep in and make it kind of...
Yeah,
moist?
I'm going to poke some holes. We'll poke some holes in the top of the cake, okay?
Like a tres leches cake.
So that some of the nice juices can get down
I love moist
into the cake. Yeah,
Good.
And then we'll let it cool off. But so there's our topping, okay? Okay, we're going to take our orange blossom cake out.
Wow.
It smells orangey.
Yes, and looks great.
So it was in for about 38 minutes. Now it's still warm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fork here and we're going to just put a few little pokes in the cake. Okay? See what I'm doing here?
Yeah, you're aerating it almost, and that's going to allow for the wonderful concoction you made here to seep into it, I guess.
Exactly. So now we're going to take our...
Listen to it sizzling. Is it supposed to do that?
Well, it's because everything's hot.
Oh. Wow. Can't wait to try it.
So, of course, this also makes for a beautifully moist cake.
Yeah, I love the moist cake. And look at how
and it will soak
pretty
it
that
up.
looks. Yeah, and it's so aromatic. The flavors are coming through, and Kevin's making sure to spread it to all the corners. And one of these days, we're going to make the Mexican tres leches cake that has similar concept behind it, and the cake itself has to be of the right consistency so it doesn't turn into mush when you put all the liquid in it. But I think this is along the same line, so I can't wait to try it.
So we're just going to let that cool. It's going to take a couple hours, okay?
Boy, if you could see my sad face right now.
Yeah,
Couple hours.
well, good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, that
And
sure looks great.
We'll let that continue to soak up.
And cool down.
Mm-hmm. And we'll have our wonderful orange blossom cake.
Can't wait to try it. Hope you all enjoyed watching this episode of Cavalcade of Food.
Yes, we had a great time doing this. We hope you had fun being with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.